So I'd like to call the meeting to order. Thank you all for being here this morning, especially since we're having an out of the ordinary kind of temperature.
Right.
So thank you all for being here. When the days are good, no one shows up. And the worst days be good. Right there, I'd like to start the meeting. Welcome to the Blue Ribbon Committee, City of Laredo Blue Ribbon Committee for people with disabilities for February 19th, 2025. So I'd like to call the meeting to order. We can start with the approval of the minutes for January 15th, 2025. You all should have them in your folders. You all can take a look at those and see if there are any changes, revisions, or corrections that need to be made. So Angie, we didn't approve the October minutes, so we need to go back?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's approve these first and then we'll go back to them.
Look at the table.
Yeah, I know.
And look at the table. Is this supposed to be from when?
You're supposed to be from January 15th.
Do you know what date it is though, officially?
Yeah, January 15th was our last meeting. Wednesday, January 15th. So it's just the.
So then
So-
we start this to January 15th.
January.
In number 8, it says, we adjourned at 1:08 instead of 12:08. On the minutes,
Mhm.
if you go to number 8, adjournment, it says,
Was it, or didn't we run late?
Yeah, we did.
at 1?
We were.
We were
Really?
late.
We were supposed to-
Well, estamos yapi.
Of course, wonder.
No, we never finished.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, I think that stands.
So the minutes need to reflect
The
January 15th as opposed to February.
Yes.
19th, yeah, that was
And then the
confusing.
time goes from 11 a.m. to 1.
1?
Yeah, it's about, we were done.
Did we get the address correct?
Yes.
So we have interaction, we have pending and action. Yeah, we have to go back and do
Right.
that.
Yeah, let's just get these done and then we'll go back.
Mhm.
What's missing? Is that here?
No, it's not health insurance.
Right.
No, Lisa knows.
I was looking for Miss Dávalos, but yeah, she's here.
Yeah.
This is the one. How could we approve it if we don't have a form? Of a form?
Good morning.
How are you?
Good.
Cecilia showed up.
Okay, so that we do, okay.
The letter going to, the city council to ask that they consider placing somebody to sign like,
Good question. Good question. Okay, it says a member. But we don't know who the member requested clarification on whether the proposal had been approved and didn't. I don't know who the member was.
The recommended is sending it to rearrange. We need to go back and ask, who is here.
Yeah, we need clarification on that. And then on this one over here, we don't know the name, the gentleman that came in. He's a professor at the college. I'd like to know his name. Who was here? Introduced himself, but I don't know his name. Yeah. Yes, I need to.
Good morning, Miss
You're
Ceci.
not working in Florida.
There she is.
Is that
Cha
a
cha cha.
The rowdy cut is on
She
this
is.
side.
Yeah, I'm on it.
We changed.
We'd like to know, is that a?
No, it's a Trinity.
Is that a beer?
You didn't bring it up at all.
If it is Shara.
Yeah. You're welcome.
It's really cold out there, huh?
Yes. To call a special call meeting about the crisis intervention, was that about every doing something about it?
So, hold on, who's this? Cecilia.
She went back to sign me, she said.
So Cecilia wants to do this.
Okay, we'll just get this in and move on.
It's the after effects of the. Yeah, go on.
Of the country. Okay.
So we need to take out your little, that's.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so far, we have,
We're on number 6.
pues sí, pero vamos a hacer una
From
video.
the top, start
No,
from
we're
the
not.
top.
Okay, because
No,
I'm really
no.
through yet.
So these are the
Great one.
the minutes, these are the minutes for January 15th, not February.
Sorry.
See, okay.
Mhm.
And then approximate time of ending was 1 PM, 1
It was
PM.
a little after 1 o'clock.
Yeah, we left
We
late
ran
that day,
late.
just for one.
Okay.
And Lisa wasn't here.
Lisa went down.
I saw you texted her, but no.
Okay, that's it.
Okay, so, what are the corrections we need to make?
Okay,
Then the signing language,
number 3, yeah.
Number 3?
Do you have the name of the gentleman that was here? I don't recall. I know that he teaches at the college, do you remember?
It was,
Was it Marco Coronado?
I believe so.
Yes.
Un morenito. Sí.
Yes,
Marco Coronado.
that's
He's
him.
the director at the name to the,
No, he's not a director.
he's a teacher. He teaches at the college.
It's him.
Are you
that's-
sure?
Well, the gentleman who,
He was here with Mr. Mendoza,
Was-
right?
yes.
It was Mr. Mendoza.
and he
And
teaches
the other-
at
sign
Laredo
language?
College. He teaches sign language at Laredo College. And he's the one who presented that concern.
Yeah, he went to he went to Val, I think, and he had concerns with Val. and-
Yes.
Oh, see, I can remember something.
Yes, that's it.
New age.
Yeah, it's okay.
And, sorry.
We'll get through it. We appreciate you helping with this though, because it's rather you than somebody else.
No, my friend.
My friend was,
I didn't do that.
it's okay.
And tires.
Your friend found one base.
I'm sorry.
His friend didn't
Sort of our
typos.
diagnosis.
So now that we have a quorum, we're gonna have to go back and approve it. Yeah. See what happens when That's when you don't.
So number 4, does everybody have updated photographs that they've sent in?
I've already sent mine in.
Wait, okay, so I'm waiting.
Yeah, we need to get that done.
Yeah, because my picture's from 1990.
Te ves muy bien, ¿eh?
Oye, es más grande.
No,
If you had all had gone to that shot, you could have taken
A nice hair.
A nice.
Yeah, pero that we lost.
No, that would have
The
been really
piggy cheeks don't go away. By the way, we're being recorded, right?
Yes.
So you
Always
need
be
to be-
recorded,
You
ma'am.
all need to be.
No, we need to be ourselves, because then people know that we're like the people on the community, regular people.
Regular people.
You don't want me to hold it.
Okay, what else?
Dale.
Let's see,
Okay,
there's,
so the photographs need to be updated,
Yes. Did you send your and your contact information? Do you want to contact you?
What do you want to talk about? My phone number, my phone number?
Your cell number?
Yes.
Oh, and it's
Because
whatever
remember
you
we-
want.
Right.
Yes, whatever you choose.
Yes.
so,
I corrected mine.
so number 5, the election option. Somebody remind me what that discussion was about?
it was about the logo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay,
Option 5.
I was like, what
Option
election are we
5.
talking about?
Yes.
See, it was, we
The logo
approved,
five.
we approved option 5, because by then, we did have a form because Hesse came in.
Yes.
Okay, so somewhere in there we need to put logo.
Okay.
Because
Option 5, parenthetical.
Option 5, For logo, option 5.
Yes,
Okay.
because I thought you
Just
were talking
logo.
about Trump or
Option
something.
5. On A, first bullet. Okay.
I'm checking the second.
You check it out.
Yeah.
All
Do you
right.
remember?
What?
She has to mirror brain.
No, that wasn't him.
He looks different in his suit.
No, that wasn't
that
him.
wasn't him.
It was the, ¿cómo se llama el señor?
Marco has short hair, morenito, morenito.
Delgadito, alto.
Alto.
That was him. Marco came with Mr. Mendoza.
So then it's Marco Coronado.
Yes,
I believe so.
yes. Marco. Oh, no, it's okay, we'll get him in there. He came with Mr. Mendoza.
So,
Then interpreter recommendations, was there follow through on that? I don't know.
no, 'cause we're gonna draft it.
So we need to put that on the strategic plan, right? We could put that as one of
Yeah, one
the,
of the things that we discussed that, and there was a lot of discussion, and like she stated, everybody feels like there should be, no, sí, eso también, but like a, strategic plan
yeah.
of where we're going with improving
Yes.
services to
Mhm.
people with disabilities.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that was discussed.
You guys are on number 7?
Yeah.
Yes.
You made that recommendation, Danny, was to
Yes,
have a
no,
plan.
no, I know.
And Erica was supposed to work on it, right? Was she supposed to work on it and bring it back? The strategic plan?
Who was?
Erica.
No, the strategic plan we were speaking of on the agenda
It's
was
us putting
ours,
all
our
our-
agenda.
okay.
Where-
We need to just put all our bullets together.
Mhm.
and put it
Yes.
together.
Yes.
So that way we know the year, you know,
And
what
is
we're
it a yearly
tackling.
plan or
and-
5-year?
Yes,
No.
yeah. I think it was a year.
A year plan?
Well, and we were saying that it should be a living document. In other words, as we achieve X, Y, or Z, we may need to modify as we go to make it better, and that's okay too. But that to the, that's why we were going to add to the agenda old business.
Right, we were.
So that if, for example, what we're doing right now, we're reviewing, saying, okay, did we take care of this or do we need follow-up? So that we
Yeah.
could put it under old business next time, so we don't drop it. We
Right.
continue working on that goal.
Yeah.
So you want
So like-
old business and new business in your minutes?
Yes.
Yeah, so that if we have things pending, we don't just, let them
Like-
go
like
by
the-
the wayside. We need to review and make sure we took care of it.
Like the letter to the mayor's office regarding the appointment of a sign language interpreter, that's pending. So
Yeah.
that's old business that we still need to go back and draft.
And
the-
address,
I need to draft the letter.
draft the letter. And we need to draft the other letter regarding, when we met with the police department for a mental hospital.
I started. I have,
You started on it?
yeah,
Good.
but then when I tried to look up Dr. Sabini's,
Well, I sent you one, like,
it was wrong. It sent me to the Austin Tribune.
yes, and on the Austin Tribune, it had her contact information.
I just saw that you brought it because I was like, I don't know.
Like I said.
Okay. So are we in number 6 or where are we?
I'm on, actually, I'm on 7, but what do we need to do on 6?
The drafting the letter for the interpreter that's here.
Mhm.
Oh, okay, under action items, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't we discuss that with the police department? Under
That was-
action
That was,
items?
but that was after the fact that we had a meeting, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, this
The
is
meeting
something-
was a separate standing
Yes.
meeting that we had with them, it was after the fact,
But we discussed
Right.
it when the officers were here,
yeah,
so we had a discussion about that.
yeah.
It wasn't something that was.
So what's going to be pending is the registration item that we're gonna do.
The registration
The ID.
is April the 2nd, I believe, and it's gonna be at the Church Center, it's already been confirmed.
That's the first one, right?
Yes, yes. Only because we have a larger number of individuals there, so we can capsize that and say, this is what we're doing, we already registered, and so it
Yes.
gives us an opportunity to leverage that for other schools.
And I
Yes.
think both UISD and LISD said yes.
Yes.
They said yes.
Yes, they
Because
did,
she took care of Cherish.
Yeah,
yeah.
we had talked about it. I sent an email to Ms. De Los Santos.
De Los Santos.
Uh-huh.
And she said yes, she immediately approved it. Then LISD took a little longer, but then they said yes.
Great.
So I gave them the information for the chief, which chief was it? There's so many chiefs.
Do you remember?
And I'm
Gonzalez.
Chief Gonzalez, yes.
Chief Gonzalez. And I told them, get in
Ricardo
contact with
Gonzalez.
Chief
Richie.
Gonzalez. Richie, there we go.
Yes.
So, yeah, It's done.
So
So
then-
we have to hear from them, see when, I know on the second
The
sheriff,
sheriff.
Because he
Yes.
did say that they were gonna have to order some more material
Right.
to prepare.
because they both, now the both districts are on.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're talking about.
And I know that I just recently met with the church center, and they are actually sending out information out so that they can get permission to.
From the parents
From
to
the parents,
okay.
yes. So it is gonna be.
I hope
big.
LISD is doing that as well.
That's
As they follow,
Yeah.
to do the confidentiality.
I will ask.
That would be
Yes.
great.
Yes.
So
So-
along those talks, I took the liberty to reach out to Public Health, right, with the Family Supporting Community, that initiative, that grant that they had, so that they can do something here for the folks on her grant. So we're gonna coordinate with PD and the Public
Have an
Health,
additional
so they're gonna do
Awesome.
one here
Super.
in April because of Autism Awareness Month. Okay,
Perfect.
just note.
Nice job. So all of these items will be under old business so that we can review
Yes.
as we go.
We'll try to make sure we get everything right.
Yeah.
So do we need to establish a date with the police department for registering kids?
No, I think the date has already been established.
They've accepted the one for the
The one that was
commitment
on-
was to start with the
There was a
charity
little second,
because they had
yes.
so many students.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm. But April, I'm sure they're gonna have a lot of activities,
Right.
so, because of Autism Awareness Month. So we gotta be sure and circle back to plug in Public Health so they can do one here, right?
And maybe, ask Richie Gonzalez if he already has the dates of the other campuses he said he
¿Verdad?
visited.
Yeah.
You to reach out to.
Mhm.
You have his info?
I do.
All right.
He's the assistant chief, right?
Mhm.
Cause it'll be here before you know it.
Yeah.
Aquí está.
Very nice.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, you know, that was me. The local, no, it's your
Under
So
membership
does the
discussions and bylaws that will, table that.
Which one?
I'm sorry, what was the first thing?
So the voluntary form for parents and children, the police are the ones who are responsible for producing those.
They have it.
Yeah, they have.
Hey, hi, good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
That's old business stuff, we already talked about.
And what the, what he said was we needed, and then the discussion are a few things that we had just kind of left hanging. So if we have discussion today in regards to that, people will bring up their concerns, because each one of us had a different.
And you're wonderful.
And then on the membership on the next page, we took a vote, and everyone said to table it regarding new membership, new members.
I have a question on that one. I went to the meeting, with the city, the one that they asked us to go to. And at that meeting, it said, I was a little bit, worried because it said that anyone that had been on board for X number of years, I think the number was 8, then they would not be in the committees anymore. So technically, almost all members of this committee would not be.
No,
Okay, so
and there's a clarification regarding that, we're not a standing committee, our committee is assigned by the mayor. So what usually happens is as we lose a mayor and the new one comes on board, they decide whether to renew us for the next amount of years or to let us go.
Yeah, because that clarification was not made at that meeting. At the meeting, it was very, I think Jaime was there.
Well, we were there.
Yeah, and it didn't have that it didn't provide that clarification. I know that
Because
that
I
was a
think the
concern.
meeting was for standing committees también, right? It
Yes,
wasn't just
yeah.
Blue Ribbon.
It was everybody,
Yeah, there was a lady got up, she says, so you mean to tell me that this person is probably gonna not be in the committee? And that was one of my things I was wondering, okay, so do you mean?
With Erica, that is,
Yeah.
usually that's how it is, she'll tell us you were approved to stay on or you were not, so,
Yeah, Angie just showed me the policy. Okay. And that's what exactly what it says. It says that our term expires every 8 years unless there's a new mayor that comes in and reappoints us.
which has been the case.
yes, ma'am.
Right. Okay, so we're good there.
Okay. The other thing that we need to look at is also, unless again, I stand to be corrected. Some of you brought up to the attention, I didn't see this, but you all brought it to my attention that the committee training also provided an element where the actual minutes of the meetings are to be provided by, or taken by city staff or the representative. Is that what you all told me or not?
I didn't say.
You did.
That's what they mentioned that whoever the liaison, I think that's the word they used.
Yes.
Liaison to the city
Oh, right.
council, that they were responsible for.
The minutes?
So,
Yes,
what I'm
that's
asking you to
true.
do is see if she can get a hold of the PowerPoint.
Yes.
I would love to get a hold of that PowerPoint because the first gentleman, not the lawyer that came after, right, who gave us
Yeah.
like ethics and all of those things.
That was the
But
city manager who did.
The first gentleman had a really nice PowerPoint that clarified the roles of each committee.
And you know what? They sent it to us,
Yes,
right?
we have.
But when I went to open it, I couldn't open it.
No, I couldn't open it, I
Oh,
don't
no.
have it.
Was anybody able to open it? No? Maybe we just need to re-request it, cause it's out there. They put it on the YouTube,
But just the PowerPoint.
just the PowerPoint.
That's what I'd like to
Because
see.
the
No, the
entire.
presentation,
the entire
no más,
presentation
yes.
is on there.
Yeah,
Because you would have to go for 2 hours of this stuff.
yeah. So you want just the PowerPoint presentation? Okay.
Mhm.
It says when we ended at the very end, 1:08. Did you see it at the very end of our minutes?
Yes.
This is
So
1:08.
do I remove the 108?
Because the meeting was formal, it says at approximately 1:08, a motion to adjourn was made and seconded. It says we ended at about 1:09.
Is that wrong?
About 1:00.
It is approximately, so.
Yeah. it's
Yes,
just-
it's give and take.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So do I remove, what do I change?
No,
Oh, I think you're fine.
I think, it just makes more detail.
Yeah. No, that's fine. It's good, we've had a lot of activity and.
So any other changes that we need to make or revisions?
I don't see it.
There's only one, in section 7B, under the Auckland surveillance update. It says Dorado instead of Laredo, but just a minor change.
say again, please.
Laredo, where is it? Right here.
Yeah, the second bullet point under B, presentation of reports and updates.
in Dorado.
Yeah, it's just supposed to say Laredo.
Dorado, New Mexico.
Not Florida. I think it's
That was It's my subconscious wanting to leave.
You're fine, you're fine.
Okay, so can we approve the minutes?
Yeah,
As
so
long as we make those changes that are
Yes.
mentioned.
So
Okay,
moved.
so I need somebody to,
Yeah.
And then I'll say,
thank you so much.
that's good.
So now that we've done that, we need to go back and approve the minutes for the month of,
I think it's October.
October. So look at the month of October minutes. I don't think we have an agenda.
See, we can't remember that much. Okay,
Okay, the next one that I show you is November.
Mhm.
So, let me say October. Here we go.
The minutes for October reflect a lot of the activities that we've done in the last more recent weeks, so I'm going to assume that they're correct.
Yes.
So unless there's something real dramatic,
No, I think we can move forward with it.
so can we go ahead and approve the minutes for October?
Yes.
So can someone motion for that? So moved.
I'll move to.
And I second.
And I'll second.
Thank you. That had to have been the most challenging approval of minutes all my life.
In your entire,
Career.
We had a lot of information.
well, that was a lot, we've had a lot going on. But we're good, we move forward.
Okay.
Okay.
So let me get back to my agenda here.
Number 3.
Okay, so we approved the minutes for January 15th. Now we'll go on to item, public comment. Sorry. This item is public comment. Do we have anybody for public comment?
Sorry, I wasn't aware that, you had discussed this public comment. But, we're here representing autism.
Absolutely.
It's a sidebar. And, we, attended, the carnival yesterday. That was the reason why, we had attended the original meeting in November, I believe, to discuss the carnival and autism. And so we attended the carnival yesterday. We were not able to purchase bracelets through Mr. Acuña's nonprofit. So we had to do it on our own, and we kind of use it as an experiment to see how it would go to attend the carnival on Autism Night, which is about sensory. They turn off the lights, they turn off the music, and so we attended. And so, turns out that for one child to ride the rides from 5 o'clock to, I believe, 8 o'clock, which is the sensory time, was almost $100 for one child. And so Ms. Ordunez is offering, through her nonprofit, she's offering $10 bracelets for children with autism, which is an awesome thing. We love that idea, we love it. But not a lot of children get to participate. And because it is so expensive to have one child attend, and the carnival was open to the public. It's open to the public, so it was very full. There were a few autistic children because we wore shirts. We participated as per Ms. Ordunez's idea, which is really good, so that way people can know which child has autism. So we participated in that way, but we also noticed that there were it was open to the public, and so it required the children to wait in line, to be patient, and to maneuver the crowd. And that is all very good. It's very good. It helps these children go into the flow of what life is. So my question is, what can we do as our community for our autistic children to be able to participate in an event like the carnival, which comes twice a year? And I'm just choosing the carnival, but there are other things.
Sure.
The carnival, which comes twice a year, where we can open it up to more children, not just a few who can participate, but more children. I hear you talking about LISD, UISD, I hear you talking about all these things. I don't have social media, and it's very difficult for me to navigate in the world. And we need ideas. I'm a grandma, and we need ideas for how more children can participate. And I'm choosing the carnival as a place to start.
May I?
Yes.
May I? There's bigger and better things that are coming. Okay, just yesterday at the carnival, we were approached. The thing is that if we want to, and we want to take the schools, it's not the Blue Ribbon Committee, it's the organization. We want to take the schools, pay through our organization. However, for every ride that she's going to turn on, the generator, the fuel, everything has to be included. So she's gonna give me a proposal, a quote for November. Yesterday when we were there, because we wait there in the front so that people don't have to, pay the entrance. I was approached by a gentleman, and he's like, we're gonna do this, I wanna do this, and I said, funny you mentioned that, because the proposal is being worked on as we speak. So what I said was, let's get together, we're gonna bring the schools. We'll do it through the schools. And then definitely invite all the adults that are no longer in school. So when you're mentioning that, it's already in the works. It just takes time and it takes money, okay? We sold 310 bracelets, and these are for the kids and a companion, plus imagine all the other family members. That it was crazy yesterday, I attribute that to the weather, that we were gonna have a wonderful day yesterday and horrible weather today. Because at other times we've been able to do it even more. We were looking, there was a teacher and myself that were looking and walking around to see if there were any meltdowns or anything like that, so that we could help our kids. And we didn't see any.
Well, we saw quite a few. We saw quite a few because we were waiting in lines, and I know we saw quite a few. It was all the way from young adult all the way to the little ones.
And it was open. The bracelet is good until the end of the night. The music starts at 8:30.
Okay.
Okay,
So how
that's what
can
it
we, so then you're saying that, you're in the process of providing more bracelets for?
No, we're in the process of doing an event just for our kids, a free event,
In
just for
November.
our kids, in November,
In November?
Cause
Oh,
that's
okay.
the one.
That's
okay.
exactly, the kind of thing that we're
But
trying to.
remember, it takes money that our organization, we can't do anything through the Blue Ribbon Committee, we don't have any funds.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
right.
even if we wanted to, we can approach council, if we wanna take it as a Blue Ribbon Committee, we can approach council and see if anybody is willing to have, I know they used to have Physics Fun Days at LISD, and somebody paid for it, and I think, Gus told me it was the Chamber of Commerce who paid for it, okay? And Physics Fun Day was to do mathematics at the carnival. And it was open for, seniors or high school and middle school kids. 'Cause I
Esther Buckley had it.
there we go. But I asked Gus Perez, who was in charge of that, and he was like, Chamber would pay. And I said, okay, well then, we started looking into that. But now that I have this other gentleman who's willing to pay, I was like, okay, let's do it. So, we'll get back to you on that, we'll put it on social media, we'll see what we can do. But definitely, I wanna go through the schools. I definitely want the schools to, because that way we're not gonna miss any child. Okay, so we'll go through the schools, but it's gonna take a while. Process is slow, but we're working on something like that.
Please feel free to reach out to myself
Mhm.
or my daughter. I could give you my phone number if you need any help with legwork or, phone calls or anything like that. We'd be more than happy to help.
Mm-hmm.
And, we would like more parents to participate for sure. And
There was a lot of parents and there's a lot of people, you saw it, everywhere you went, you saw blue, autism, so people knew we were there. And if there were meltdowns, people knew that child had autism.
Yes, that is
Because we were
correct.
all in costume, if you wanna say that, okay? Aside from you wearing the mascot uniform, I don't know what else to do. But, people knew we were there. And I think Compassion was a little, or they were more, they just knew. We were all over the place yesterday. So yeah, we'll work into that, we'll look into, because I had said from 5, but the carnival, when I got there at 4:30, it was already packed. It was already the lines were huge already to buy the tickets. So I was like, oh, come on, parents, get here. But yeah, we're working on that, but through the organization. I don't know what
And
we
I
can
also
do.
noticed this year that, autism wasn't, posted.
No, that's in November. That's when in November, I'm sorry, but this is not on the agenda.
No,
So we're
you're
totally
fine.
going off
No.
of the.
You're
Right,
fine.
the carnival in February is hosted by McDonald's. In November, we are the sponsors. So in November, I have free reins to what we did in November, we put, and every single ride that people were getting on, we put little tidbits of autism. Okay, so every ride you would go, people would see autism is this, or 1 out of 36, whatever. So in November, we went all out, we decorated the gates with banners, we had flags, because that's our event, because we work with them, directly with them. So November is the time. Right now, it's McDonald's, that's why you saw the McDonald's float right there.
Oh,
And we
thank you
really
for
can't do
clarifying.
much,
Thank
okay?
you.
Because they
The only
sponsored
thing,
it.
yeah, they sponsor it. The only thing is that Ms. Martin goes out of the way to have us there. It's like, it just didn't work because I'm attributing to the weather. It was the
Well,
weather.
yes and no, because they were also, the carnival is also, in their folder they have, the flyer that they have, they also promote, they sell tickets at,
Yeah.
the kiosk
Yeah.
for the public, and they're $15 if you get them there, and they're $8 at the kiosk. And so that's another thing, it's not a private, autism.
No, it wasn't private.
It's not private.
It hasn't been private, no.
Yeah.
Because like I tell you, if it's private, it's going to be costly, and our organization doesn't have that kind of money. Okay, so yesterday that I was approached by this man, I was like, may I hug you? And he's like, sure, because I'm a hugger, and I said, oh, okay, and I got all his info, we're gonna meet, and that one will be private. But aside from that, you know, we need to expose our children to the wait time, and I know it's hard, because I was there before, and I'm still there, because if it's, you know, my 300-pound kid, if it's still, he has to wait, you see it. I see it as a mom, the demeanor just changes. And yesterday, he couldn't fit on some of the rides, and I saw the demeanor just change, and we're waiting, you know, hands up. He's gonna hurt himself, he's gonna hurt me, he's gonna hurt somebody, so we're waiting right there for him. Thank God, you know, he wanted pizza, so that, you know, redirections, like, okay, let's go get pizza. But we're working on it. Just be aware that there's something out there and people are willing to help.
Yes, definitely.
Mhm.
And just a reminder that the spectrum of
Yeah.
autism is
Yeah.
large. Not all children are at that level.
Right.
So the spectrum is very large, and we're here to advocate for all of them. Yeah. All of them.
Yeah.
That was I'm sure that was more than 3 minutes, but thank you for listening. Thank you for listening.
So just to recap, okay, you're looking for, I guess, the cost, okay, which is $10. Not everybody got to do that, take that opportunity. Somewhere, although you didn't specify, I think you're looking for specific hours
Yes,
that can be attended just by individuals with autism.
that would be a really nice thing. But not exactly necessary, but that would be nice.
Minimize the amount of crowd.
You would minimize the amount of crowd, correct?
And the other item that you kind of mentioned was the long lines to wait for the ride,
Mhm.
which could probably be addressed if we were to minimize, do it autism day or autism hours or 3 hours or whatever.
I was even thinking like a fast track like they do at Fiesta Texas and that kind of thing. If you have a bracelet, if you have a t-shirt that says autism fast track, so that way you don't have to wait, that's also a way to deal with
I
it.
thought about that, we discussed that, Chrissy and I, but Laredo crowds, you know how Laredo is. We're far, very far from where everybody else is, and we're gonna start getting the looks that we don't wanna get, we're gonna get.
Well, but we shouldn't live that way. We should think more of catching up to the rest of the cities.
I understand, but this is Laredo,
you know.
man. This is Laredo.
It's the advocacy, and
Yes.
this is why
It's
we're
the
here,
advocacy, yes.
you know, to become a more inclusive community.
Yes, that is what
That's
we're
our
trying to
goal.
promote.
Yeah, because we talked about that, let's go through the exit, the way we do somewhere else. And she was like, oh, I don't know if that's feasible. It's like, okay, we'll try it some other day. We also talked about it. We've talked about everything, ma'am, everything that is out there, we've talked
So
about
you're
it.
gonna
But
take
it
care of
will,
right?
to open it up for ourselves, it's gonna take money. It's gonna take money to just have 3 hours for ourselves.
If I may add to that, I think it's gonna take money also, but it's also gonna take relationships. Developing those relationships
Yeah.
is extremely important. People trust you and they wanna help. They just don't know how, and the
That's
fear-
us, that's us
and-
right now.
Yeah, and the fear factor is something that's very dominant. So establishing those relationships and working as a team is extremely important, because people can sense when people can't, you know. and
I
so-
want to remind you also that in the very first Blue Ribbon Committee, but it wasn't called that, it was called something else, that you all held at Laredo Public Library. I don't know if anybody was there. Autism
Oh,
Coalition.
yeah.
It was almost a desperation of the
Yes.
parents that were there. And I wanted to cry because we go through this journey with my grandson as a family, but there are many of parents out there that are 100% lost. And where are those parents right now? Where I don't remember seeing them at the carnival last night or at other functions that have been around the city. And we need to advocate for those parents that are lost and they don't know how to connect.
We have over 3,000 people in our
Exactly,
organization now.
uh-huh.
Yes. And we have over maybe 3,000 individuals diagnosed with autism. So
Yes.
they come in and out. We see them when they're young, and then once they are adults or young adults, that they can navigate this world without us,
Yes.
they come and go. Okay, so I've seen lots and lots of kids just grow up, you know, and we wish we would be there, even in the school districts, I'm sorry, I'm part of a board, but even in the school districts, we still have a long way to go.
We do.
We do.
And
We do,
it's-
I understand
it's-
that, but we have to start somewhere.
Mhm.
It has to start.
And I think the revolution has started. I'm gonna go what's the name of that Lamar guy? The revolution is here. You picked the wrong person. The revolution is here. Okay, because Mrs. Orduno is out there. Don't you worry.
So
Now,
hopefully we can do the carnival, we can start with that, and it's a very pleasant thing. I'm sure we can get a lot more parents to participate, a lot more families, and hopefully we can start with that. With what you have on your agenda there, you know, the money.
Well, we thank you for bringing it up to our attention.
Yes.
And the kind of struggles and challenges that, you know, families with kids with autism go through.
There are many, this is just one in the bucket, there are many.
So, but Ms. Olona's a real good advocate.
Yes, she
okay?
is.
She's a real bully, so don't.
A little.
and then also the
Just a
meeting
little.
that we were on this morning,
The meeting.
that's gonna be great for those parents to come too. It's with the Baylor College of Medicine, AHEC, and a genetic conference. So we have,
Yes, that is
so
correct.
we're planning that now, and we'll get the word out, right?
That is also open to the public, I believe.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
yes.
Mhm.
We're also gonna try and advocate for more parents to attend these meetings.
For sure.
Yes.
Yeah,
We set the date for April, what was it?
May, was it May?
I'm sorry,
May 17th?
Yes.
I believe so. Yes, May 17th.
But more information will be forthcoming.
Yes, thank you.
Mhm.
And please keep in mind that a lot of us don't do social media. I know I've gotten a lot of information from Laredo Morning Times.
We
Or the
used to send them
television.
through the schools, and I think we need to just go back and revisit that with both the directors, because we used to send everything we do through the schools. That way everybody gets it. Now, if
That's a
the
good
teacher
idea.
is too busy, or, you know, we get busy as teachers, so, we just need to see who sent it or not. But I'll contact both the directors and we'll start again. Because we used to have that, where we used to send it out to everybody. And then LISD got a little bit more difficult, that I had to send it to the director first. He had to get it approved by the assistant superintendent, and then they would go out, but they would eventually go out. It was before with Miss Claudia. So, yeah, I'll reach out to Miss Laura. Okay, but yeah, we'll do it like that.
And we hear your desperation, and we
Yes.
appreciate you coming and sharing, but know that
It's not a
things
easy road.
things don't move fast
Yes,
like
I
you would
understand that.
want them to move.
Yeah.
But know that they're in motion, right? May not be directly through the BRC, but of course, Mrs. Orduno is a great resource too.
Yes, she is.
Mhm.
I understand, yes, I agree.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Orduno, thank you so much for all your help. as
Oh, I
well.
love it.
It's a challenge.
It's my thing.
Yes, it is.
Motivated by my big guy, yeah.
Okay, so thank you for that public comment.
Mhm.
So let's move on, because I'm losing people.
I know.
Yes, yes, yes.
Es que we
Yeah, we lost
wanna-
them.
wanna-
Okay, so discussion of possible action regarding the City of Laredo Committee training held on January 27th. One of the reasons why I put this here is that there was a number of, there was 3 or 4 things that had surfaced. One was the 8-year shutdown or whatever that was.
Mhm.
The other one was somebody brought up the idea about the minutes, so what I've asked is that we retrieve the PowerPoint slides, and maybe the next time we can look at those more slowly, more carefully, and see if there's any of them that apply to us.
Mhm.
Item B, and I don't know if anyone wants to say anything about item B regarding the,
I think
Brian, I thought it was a wonderful meeting, and I am so proud to be in this committee because, you know how they mentioned that some committees never meet? It's like,
yeah.
oh, we're always meeting.
We
I
are.
was so proud.
Yeah.
And I saw that most of us were there. So, I mean, I think it's just the kind of people we are, and we're surrounded by doers who wanna do lots of things out there for everybody.
They send people to Florida.
So I'm very proud to serve in this committee.
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I'm so proud
And
of
we're-
of
and
what
we're
we're trying to do.
Yes, and we're looking to partner up and be here, you know, to help.
Yes.
Thank you. Item B, discussion possible action regarding meeting with the leaders
Oh,
of the Laredo Police Department. I put this here because one of the things that they had asked for is help regarding a crisis stabilization unit for the city of Laredo.
Right.
Board Region has a unit, a closed unit, inpatient unit on their campus, or did. I don't know what the status is right now, but what happens many times is that for those individuals who are more severely in danger of themselves or others, they don't treat them here, they send them to San Antonio.
Mhm.
That's where the police was saying, well, we spend a lot of time taking care of them until they're able to find a bed. Typically it's out of town. And then we have to wait for transportation, which is the sheriff's department who does the transporting. So by that time, the person who's going through a psychiatric crisis has spent a day or two already inside LMC or a doctor's hospital. Of course, by that time, the hospital's also upset because they're taking one of their ER rooms from them. And so that's something that has to be considered, but I worked at MHMR for a long time, and one of the issues that we have is that you need a doctor that specializes in inpatient psychiatric care. And Laredo is not, doesn't attract psychiatrists at all, okay? And so that makes it a big challenge. So we can, one of the things that they want is to voice our concerns or our desires for an inpatient unit that would take all levels of crisis, and send that information to either Senator Zapatini as well as Representative Richard Greenman. And so I started working on a letter which I did not finish, and I was hoping I could bring it with me so that I can send it to you all, and you all just need to sign it and send it on.
What I would like to see is maybe get from Erica a list of emails, not just for those two, but also perhaps the city council, if we all individually send them a letter voicing our concern. I think one of the things that Assistant Chief Richie Gonzalez said over and over again was appropriate. He talked about when one of us, and I'll just say us, is having a crisis, whether it's because we're on the spectrum or we're having a severe emotional breakdown, is it appropriate for us to use what's available in Laredo? And he kept saying, no, it's not. That's not what we need, you know, and we don't have what we need. So we do go to the hospitals and take one of their beds when they're, because there's nothing else. And I think if we can all use the letter that you're writing, that you're penning right now, and each one of us separately, not just as a blue ribbon committee, but as our individuals, all of our voices individually saying, this is what our community needs. Because it's not appropriate, and I believe you mentioned someone who ended up, who was on the spectrum, who ended up in jail. That's not just not appropriate, that's just not right, you know, and I think if each one of us voices that concern and individually as a group, you know, when all these voices are heard, hopefully they'll pay attention and things can change.
It probably compares to cities like San Antonio and Houston, where they have drop-off clinics. And literally what that means is that a policeman picks up somebody who's showing signs that they're going through a psychiatric crisis, and they just go and they drop them off, and they take care of, they do the assessment evaluation. But they don't waste any time. That person has access to psychiatric care within minutes or hours of the crisis having started. Whereas here in Laredo, you're talking about somebody taking care of an individual for 24 hours, 36 hours before they are able to make an arrangement or find a bed somewhere else. So.
Can we meet with the law enforcement personnel and the way we met with LPD? Go to the sheriff, go to, I think it starts with the district attorney. Can we
I
do
believe
that?
that's what you had said, is that we need
Because
to
it was
meet.
wonderful when we met with the police
And
department.
he
we were all
said it
there.
would be good to
And he
meet
also said, yes,
Mhm.
with he says,
Mhm.
the police department,
Right.
you all, and the DA, you know, just
Right.
sheriff, just everyone together and review these things. But moreover, he kept saying that we need to have an alternative, like
Yeah.
A mental hospital.
A mental health clinic, he said.
Yeah.
I know I'm not supposed to speak, but Ms. Flores sent me an email, and it went to my junk mail,
Ms.
unfortunately.
Flores?
What is your last name?
Andrade.
Andrade, I'm sorry. Ms. Andrade sent me an email, and it was about the blue envelope.
Oh, yeah, we saw that.
It's
What
coming
they're
up.
doing in the other, we received that, the blue envelope.
I just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah.
I didn't get to attend because it went to my junk mail, and I didn't get to see it until yesterday, so I was reading about it. I looked it up, and it's a really good idea for what they're talking about.
So that letter is pending, I'll send it out to you all. Item C is discussion possible action regarding the Ribbon Committee yearly strategic plan. So this is as we mentioned, it's a living document, so we've started in that direction, but that doesn't mean that it's by any means completed. Okay, so like this thing that we just brought up regarding the carnival and access, it's something that we can work on as well. Item D, discussion and possible action regarding the enforcement of City of Laredo's policy regarding membership, attendance, absenteeism. Okay, so I put this on here because every calendar year, the City of Laredo, I don't know if you all remember, there used to be a policy that said that you, as a member, you can be absent on the third one up to 3 times, and that's it. And now the most updated one is 4 absences, and then you're automatically out. I looked to see what how the policy reads regarding whether, does it take my initiative or the committee's initiative to ask the mayor to release you from membership, and it's automatic. Once you're absent 4 times, you're out. Okay, that's pretty much what it says.
It did say something about being able to attend, if you had a quorum, you could attend, I think, virtually, correct?
Which means you have a quorum physically.
You have to have a
first.
quorum, if you have a quorum, then that member can still attend virtually. So that would not count. However, if there's no quorum, I guess that would count as
Yes.
an absence.
And so for like last year, I only have 1 individual that was absent 4 times, but it's already the end of the year. So we just started a calendar year in January. We're in February now. So I'm just letting you all know ahead of time that 4 you're out. No questions.
So don't you show up or what?
You know,
So hopefully not, because all of you are valuable contributors.
but I want to say at the library meeting, I know Ceci was there with me to the very end. This brought up a huge conversation, and they were going to look at it again. It really raised a lot of questions. It got kind of loud, and so they had to cut it down. They said, "We'll look at it again. We're going to take it to," I don't remember who, but they were going to look at it. At the whole thing about absences, how you term, how long it's supposed to be here, and so forth. So I don't know if that's the final one or not. Because it raised a lot of questions.
Yeah, I just saw the current one that is operational right now. I thought it was 3 times, and Angie we looked at it, and it says 4.
4 times.
So, okay, so I'm just
Just a
letting you
thought.
all know what,
So what were some of the issues that were brought up?
Oh, they were talking about terms, how long to be in a member. They didn't talk about absence, just really was a term that really raised a lot of questions. And that's what, I guess it was the city secretary, I don't know who he was, I don't know him all. And he said, well, we'll have to look at it. I think he'd be great at talking about it, but he said, we'll have to look into it, because it was like, you can only be a member for so many years, and then you get a new member. That means all of us here would have to be, would be out. Every single one of us, because we've been here too long. He
Yeah,
said, we're
but-
gonna look at it again.
But alluding right back to what Dr. Rutiger said, it was every time there's a new mayor, you're reappointed, so if you're
Yes.
reappointed.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
Right, that clarified that.
It's a new cycle that
Yeah.
Yeah.
unless you have a mayor starting his 9th year in term, then you're out. Okay. Discussion and possible action on formally requesting the City of Laredo Mayor Dr. Victor Trevino to consider the prospective membership into the Blue Ribbon Committee of regular and frequent attendees interested in membership. Okay, so we discussed this last meeting, and I guess we had tabled this item. Okay, and there was some discussion about how difficult it is to sometimes get a quorum together. And increasing the number of membership will also increase the number of members required for a quorum. So the committee voted last meeting to keep it at where we are right now, which I think is 10.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. Next item are presentations and reports and updates. Updates on public health autism surveillance program by Kathleen Chavez. And I think she left.
Yes.
An abstention.
Yeah.
So we'll catch up to her next time. And then we have report on family support for children and young adults with special needs program. Update by Ms. Carmen Andrade.
Hello. I'm excited to share with you that this coming Tuesday, February 23rd, I've partnered with Color Your World for a painting class. So this is gonna be held here in the auditorium at 5 p.m. So this is an adaptive painting class designed for children with special healthcare needs. This is fun. I hope this would be fun and inclusive event that will provide creative space for the children that can express themselves, enhance motor skills, experience their therapeutic benefits of painting. So I'll be sharing that through an email so that you can help me out for them, so that it's gonna be space limited. So that they can register for the event, and that way we can manage the space for this painting experience that we're gonna be hosting for them.
What is the age?
It's we work with from I would say any age up to we work with children until 20 years the program. So it's
Do they have to be registered through your
No,
program,
no,
or it's
no,
open to anyone?
open.
Okay.
And how many are you looking to, where are you hosting it?
Here in the
Here. Okay.
Yes, it's tentatively 25. It's space limited, so I'll be sending that dates by tomorrow.
Okay, yeah, send it so we can post it.
Will we get that in?
Through that email, and Sanji will help me deliver that.
I have a question, so if you have a lot of people who apply, will you have a second session?
Hopefully.
Is there a cost for it? You're
No,
paying
it's
for it?
free. It's free.
Wow.
There's Color Your World has partnered with us, and she's voluntarily donating that.
Wow,
First
that's
come, first
awesome.
serve, is that what it is?
I
Yes.
would say that. That's great.
So it would be like the child and their
Caregiver,
caregiver.
Wonderful.
And that's my announcement.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next item is item 6 is announcements or open discussion regarding announcements.
Can I?
Okay, Jenny.
Jenny, you go first.
Jenny.
Can I do part of this?
Hey y'all, I am Jenny Sanchez. I've met most of you already. Just to let you know, I'm a special needs manager with Parks and Rec. It's a new position. I keep on saying it, it's so bad. I keep on saying I'm a recovering administrator, but.
It's okay, Ceci is too.
So we're moving and shaking with our events that we're creating at the rec center. I did want to pass out this. This is before I go full force, and I have brilliant ideas, but maybe the community doesn't want them. So I created what if they don't agree? So I created a needs assessment, and so I would love to give y'all one, and I'll give you my card, because I am looking to move forward on different activities, but I sort of need some feedback on what's going to work and what's not. Because as you talk about the spectrum, it is important that sometimes we're helping and then it's like hitting wrong, and I'm like, okay, yeah, it's like
We have nothing. Just let you know, we have nothing. So what you have is better than nothing that we have right now.
And I want to tell you, I have some events coming up, and I might even have y'all sort of help us out, because sometimes we need that help. And if you don't have a child with autism, which I do not, as an administrator for special ed for 12 years though, and I worked with a lot of families in a lot of different, areas, because of course as an administrator, it's a large, you know, whether it's with Down syndrome, it's with somebody in a wheelchair, it's prosthetic, the range is huge. So I'm in my position, I'm looking at everybody, right? So, I definitely want this to be something that works for the families, though. All of us do in the Parks and Rec. So I'm gonna give you this, and for instance, we have the Kite Festival coming up on April 12th, excuse me. And that is a big event, that's amazing, but it's all day and it doesn't necessarily work for everyone. So I'm thinking of coming up with a smaller, more intimate event at Haynes Rec Center that Friday, which is the 14th at 9 a.m., 9 to 12, like some morning event, small, and I'm gonna need some help. So I'm gonna reach out to y'all to have booths at our event so that whether it's face painting, sidewalk chalk, you help me create events that will best serve our families and our kiddos. And I think that's also how we're gonna learn to work with each other, right? Yes. And I'm even gonna have like the stroke survivors are gonna host a booth because they also feel like it's a great event to talk to people about, like if you have a family member or a grandparent who is, struggling, right, with as they rehab. So, and then I'm gonna try to have an adaptive sports event later on in March as well. And so, but the needs are vast, right? And so I'm gonna pass these out, and I'm gonna ask you to send them out as you can. I can email them out so that I can get feedback from families about what can we do. How can we work together? And we want to make things happen. I listen to you, and I think, and I know that the work you've been doing for years, and I want to make an impact on our end. We're the fun zone. So, we talked about this yesterday, I talked to Deanna. There's the rehabilitative side of things, and we're going to try to create an adaptive gym. No, we're not going to try it. It's going to happen. And Haynes. But also, we're the fun ones. Like, what can we do that's fun, But that's a tough thing, because what's fun for one person is not fun for the other person, right? So let's work together. I'm going to hand out my flyer, and I'll give you all my card, and we can certainly be in contact. But I just want y'all to know we're moving in and shaking here. We're going to keep on moving forward with the rec center.
So are we going to? I'm sorry. Are you gonna continue the swimming classes that you had?
Yes.
The city would offer those. Well, there were two types of swimming classes. The swimming classes for with the lifeguards that have been certified, okay, on Saturdays. But then on Saturdays also, there was a period of time that we would go to the Haynes
like a century
pool.
Swim.
Yeah, a century swim.
Yeah.
And that one there were lifeguards, but it was not I'm gonna teach you how to swim.
Right.
It was just a family event.
It's literally, right, just
okay,
I'm gonna hang in the water, there's not gonna be music, no splashing, that kind of thing, right? So that happened before I got here, so I'm looking to revamp it, but I know Inner City Pool is still being worked on. So as soon as that changes up a little bit, but I believe that's where it was happening.
The Saturday, the learn to swim, yes.
Yeah. So, but I'm a pool person, so I'm doing as much of the pool as I can. But I definitely am looking forward to having some sensory swim, because a sensory swim is great for not just a person with autism, but even some of our kids who have Downs, or somebody who just has anxiety, or I think that there's a range of people that will benefit from just a more relaxed swim.
And we introduced, it was what was the name of the other girl before?
Anita.
Christine. Okay, we did the research, and we didn't want our kids, because kids with autism gravitate to the water, and 91% of the kids who get lost it ends up in a tragic death, because they go to the ponds, and that's why we started this thing with the city of Laredo, because we wanted our kids to learn how to swim, at least have a little bit of water safety, and then of course when they go with the parents. So let's continue.
Yeah, we'll continue to have the
yes.
conversation, and that's, I know the pools area also, so I need to see where they're working with Ms. Stanley with that, but definitely something we want to continue and build on,
Yes,
as we.
An idea that we had come up with was the buddy system, of pairing a child on the spectrum with a partner that's not on the spectrum, and doing an activity with like what you're suggesting, but I know a lot of these kids in middle school and high school, they do volunteer work, And so we were thinking, we were kind of going with that idea. We're starting with our grandson, her son, he's 9, and there's the owner of 550 Pizza. Well, I don't know if you want to tell them, I'm speaking for you.
Well, my friend, she owns 550, and so she is advocating for her nephew, and he also has autism, and she doesn't know how to, like, you know, he's having trouble making friends. So she reached out to me, and I said, well, that we're kind of in that same boat, that he wants to make friends, but he doesn't know how to make friends.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you where I am gonna continue to have a conversation is where we have like adaptive events and completely inclusive events, right? Like how we ride that line of, you know, creating a safe zone, right? Especially when there's younger kids, but also the sense of community, right? And for, you know, what I'm working with the staff on is we're beyond inclusion, we're about belonging. Not just that we're gonna create events that, you know, include you, but you want, like you're part of, like, let's make this, you feel welcome in that home with us. And that's an important part of what we do, are gonna keep on working on. You know, we have not a lot of staffing, so that is our issue. Parks and Rec is severely understaffed. So a lot of the activities, you know, are gonna have like an inclusion clause, which is say, you know, if you need a little assistance and we're gonna ask you to bring a caretaker with you, you know, no charge with that, because we do need that support. I mean, we are where we are right now, but we are working on it. And also I believe in that the buddy system is important because every person and in our community that you get more comfortable working with different people with different needs, it's the ripple effect of improving our community. So I agree with you on that, and that's definitely part of one of our plans.
And I always use the carnival as an example of that buddy system also. I mean, the carnival to me, the carnival is like it's huge. It's huge. There's so many things that children can learn from that experience, and it's also a safe environment. It's you know, I'm using that as an example, but that what you're saying is.
And also like Special Olympics is happening at the end of February, maybe your son is participating, right? In Special Olympics during the track events, you know, like my kids were all, you know, participating in those. So in that area, there are buddy systems in the Special Olympics. The UISD and ULISD do a good job of that.
Yes.
So.
And I believe Troutman Middle has a meeting in the middle.
Yeah,
right?
all of the schools have meeting in the middle.
Meeting in the middle, yeah, and the United schools, they have meeting in the middle.
Yeah.
Which is pairing up the kids. Reverse inclusion. So instead of our kids going over there, the regular kids come in here. Reverse.
Yeah. So we're looking at how we can expand our program. We're looking at Camp in Motion, which is something that happens in Austin in the areas. It's adult children's, you know, collaborates with the YMCA there to create a completely adaptive camp. You know, but I will say on top of that, what we're doing a little differently than some of these other Parks and Rec is that we're trying not to incur costs on the families. And I will say that there's some cities that have amazing things happening, but here you're paying $50 for a year of membership at Parks and Rec. Over there you're paying $170. You know, plus you're paying $70 per class or $80 per class. So yeah, they have amazing stuff, but the funding is coming in through the expense that's, you know, expensed out. We're trying to work with what we have and keep the expense at a minimum because they're, you know, families already have a heavier burden a lot of times. So we're trying to do a little bit of everything, but it's going to take us, you know, to be all in. That's my motto, is all in. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Last item, adjournment.
Can I add something real quick? We just recently had a Night to Shine, sponsored by United Assembly, that I want to thank school districts. LISD was represented there by administration, and so was UISD. We did have a little bit over 25 kids that I know of that showed up from the Terror Center, which is the center we're going to be visiting to IDD kids. I think it was well attended. I don't remember the numbers right now, but it was packed up with people. Everybody showed up. It was a really nice event. This year we did have an organization called Stepping Stone that provided a majority of the snacks. We looked like HEB. Yeah. It was like packed up with all the snacks, the tables. And then we had Stepping Stone also donated suits Calvin Klein and Ralph Lauren.
Michael Kors.
Michael Kors,
Yes.
suits, brand new suits for the kids.
Beautiful.
And there was no holding back. If it fits you, take it, you know. We had a group that came in from, what is it called, that came in and volunteered, some youth from the alternative school. And in the morning I said, there's two mandates here. I said, one, you're gonna come here and do work. But before you do work, I said, it's a church event, so it is sponsored by a church. I said, is that you be blessed with whatever's here. So there's a bunch of suits right there, take one that fits. And they were going like, okay, this isn't really happening. And so they took their suits, the girls took their outfits, and that night we got to see them come and volunteer and dance with the
Is it this
individuals on
one?
the floor. Yes,
Wonderful article, wonderful article.
yes, yes.
The kids love the party bus. I was
Yes.
talking to some of my ex-students, and they were like, we would have a party
Yeah.
bus.
So,
And the picture area.
yes, and then we had a booth,
Yeah.
that came in, I mean, everything just, I mean, I tell people, I said, manna poured from heaven, I mean,
Yes.
we weren't expecting so much, but we were very, very blessed, and so it is a community event, it is the Friday before Valentine's Day,
February
every
13th.
year, okay? So it's the Friday before Valentine's Day. In addition to that, I did wanna, share that our church was blessed with, a new facility, and one of the, agendas in our items in our agenda is to create a ministry specifically for people with disabilities. And we work with a range of ages from the very young ones to, 70, 80, so our range is wide. It's like the spectrum, super wide. So that's coming up, and we will be located at 1000 DeSoto Lane, and we're looking forward to that. One of the components that you were talking about, people volunteering, we're also looking at the possibility of getting the community to come together, do trainings regarding Big Brother, Big Sister type of program. If we don't incorporate that element, then we are isolating the events,
Yes.
and we should
Yes.
isolate.
We
So,
should not
but-
isolate.
But I think as a community, all agencies are important. Ours is, I'm a pastor's wife, so been that for almost 40 years. But I'm also an educator, I taught for 30 years. So all those elements come together, and in my mind, I keep thinking, you don't bring division, you bring inclusion.
Unity.
And not only from for the students, but also for the parents, because parents need to be taught, and that's a component
Yes.
that we are adding to our church, component of educating, and empowering parents, as well as young adults and older adults to do that. So that's forthcoming. We won't move into the facility till probably the first week of May, but we are believing by faith that we're gonna do that. But thank you so much, for all of you that participated. Thank you.
I have a couple of comments. There is a Champion League sponsored by the North Side baseball team, baseball league or something. There is a Champion League that they just started this year. And then on another note, because we've been having all these comments about interpreters, LISD is now on board. The CCMR department is going to be offering now the kids certification or classes to get certified. However, we have been told that the test that the kids have to pass, that the interpreters, is extremely
Yes.
difficult.
That is.
But
Yeah.
at least, there is a teacher at Cigarroa High School who teaches, because now it's
Mr.
part of
Mendoza.
foreign language.
Yes.
Right.
No, it's another lady.
Yes, it
It's part of foreign language, so instead of taking Spanish or French, you can take
can
that
take
language.
some.
So
That's awesome.
that's why
So cool.
they're going that way, so it's like,
That's
yeah.
great.
And it got there because, I pushed, it pushed, there was a lot of people coming together and pushing, like, okay, let's have a certification for kids to do this.
Yes.
And it's coming to pass.
Good,
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah.
I love that.
Well, those were my 2 cents.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you all for being here. I need to move some motion for.
Motion to adjourn.
Any seconds? Okay, thank you.
Before you go,
Thank you.